For those of you who don't know, I make YouTube videos. Not intentionally, for the most part. Was not my idea. But I do make them. This new dating site bullshit has already started to tax my fucking nerves. Listen. And thank God this is the same day as the last video I just made. It's still May 29th, 2017. The difference now is it is 5:07 in the afternoon. When people ask for a photo of me, I'll automatically assign them the duty of watching my YouTube videos, because I have, for those of you who watch them on a regular basis, I have a filthy fucking mouth. So it comes as no shock to you, but new people, it comes as a shock to sometimes. So I immediately refer them to my YouTube, not for the intention of having them to subscribe, but to see me live and in person. Because as anyone who watches these videos knows, I do not like to have to fucking keep sending pictures to people. That is the most ridiculous fucking thing ever. I want you guys to get a real clear picture of what I was talking about my tits earlier. And I don't talk about my tits ever. But look at this shit, how swollen. Is that not insane? And I'm not going to move my hair out of the way. Don't even fucking suggest it. I'm just telling you. That is... Do you know how painful that shit is? No, you don't. That is... Yeah. Let some motherfucker pop up and talk about PMS or periods. At any rate, I want to move on. This shit's painful as fuck. There goes my damn phone. Hang on. There should be no mystery surrounding the fact that I hate text. Constant fucking interruption. And it remains that way. I have many notes that I have... Actually, you want to hear some funny shit? I can elaborate on my last video about men. I've recently learned, or tried to learn, to speak Russian among the other languages that I speak. And yes, I did say that in a plural form. There are a few that I speak fluently. I have recently learned to try to speak Russian. There are some hot motherfuckers in Russia. And in watching a video the other day about Russians, I learned that the men do not work. Usually, it is the women who work. And no, the men do not take care of the children either. That is still the woman's job. So the woman's doing every fucking thing. And I'm like, that shit would not ever fucking go on in my house. Not on my homestead. That would never fucking happen. No. There are so many things I can do a mental map of on that. That entire subject fucking pisses me off. That would refer me to another pet peeve of mine. I cannot fucking stand laziness in anyone. I do not give a fuck. Man, woman, child, animal, you know, beast, whatever. I cannot stand laziness. That is probably one of my worst pet peeves. And for those of you who watch my videos, I'm sure that you have seen that I have been with a lot of lazy fucking men. Another pet peeve of mine is, and this has been extremely irritating to me lately, have you guys and gals been a victim of someone, usually it's a friend or a family member, that will wait. They will be sitting in the very same room that you are sitting in and not say a fucking word. But when they get up to go get a drink, or they get up to go get something to eat, or they get up to use the restroom in a completely opposite room, not even adjacent to you, halfway across your fucking house, they want to start a goddamn conversation and expect you to be able to hear them. I'm telling you, these people never fucking cease to amaze me with their stupidity. I mean, why the fuck would you walk into another room and try to begin a conversation? That doesn't even add up. Knowing good and damn well that I cannot fucking hear what you're saying. Because, or Stacy that you met a few minutes ago, I talk shit about that bitch all the time because she just does the most fucking ignorant shit. She fucking decides to start a conversation as soon as her fucking foot hits the floor, and I'm literally speechless. I mean, if it happened once or twice, fine. But constantly doing that shit, and you all know me, I'll point that shit out quick. Constantly. She's the worst for, I will be blaring music to where I can, like, you know, you want to blare music sometimes. This bitch will try to talk over the fucking top of the music. Okay? The problem with that is, when I pause the music, she has nothing to fucking say at all. But when, the moment my finger hits the mouse button to turn it back on, she tries to start another fucking conversation. As though I could hear her over the fucking music. She's also one of the fucking people that will start a conversation after she has left the room. Do you know how agitating that shit is? That's a rhetorical question. Because I know many of you have suffered this epidemic, I suppose is what I should call it, that goes on. So before I was rudely interrupted by Tinder, once again, that shit is fucking relentless. Relentless. You know? And now I've got notifications on the side of my computer. Before I was rudely interrupted, as I was saying, what I was ranting about at this point in time was, I've recently started to learn the Russian language. And there's this one dude that is fine as fuck on there, on music videos and such as that, because I watch a lot of those now. It's easier to learn a language through music. And of course, a lot of fucking studying. But I've been watching these music videos and there's this really sexy dude on there. And I'm about to catch a case over this bullshit with my phone. And my sister has the hots for this guy on these Russian videos tremendously, because every time one of us gets involved in something, the other one has to as well. So, Russian, I can't even focus. You see how that shit throws me off with this phone going off constantly? Russian, there's the cute guy. My sister's attracted to one, and I'm attracted to two others. And the women over there are immaculate looking. They look like Merle Norman does their makeup as soon as their foot hits the floor every fucking morning. Moving on, my sister's attracted to this one dude, and I was telling Stacy, the woman that was in here earlier, that he's cute enough for like a blowjob, but I'd never let him fuck me. Yeah, honestly, it's amazing how I can compartmentalize people like that, but yeah, I deduce you're put into a category as soon as I meet you. And that's just the way that I do things. But yeah, he would be good enough. The one that my sister's attracted to. Now, the two that I'm attracted to, there are endless possibilities about what I would do with them. Endless fucking possibilities. Come up with something fucking creative. We can go to outer space and have sex. I don't fucking care. You make a decision. That's, that would be no lay there like a fucking plank sex. That would be some crazy fucking sex. I have some breaking news for you guys. There are some people in this fucking town that should not own pets. I've got somebody to introduce to you. Come here, dog. Come here. Come on. Come here, baby. Come here. Right here. Look. Dot is. Come here. Come here. She's like, how do I get up there? Come here. Stand up here. That is Dot. Come here. Her owners, she's half pit bull and half Dalmatian. Yes, you heard me correctly. Half pit bull and half Dalmatian. That is why her name is Dot. But her owners apparently don't know how to fucking take care of her. So I'm trying to find her a home. Whether or not anyone gives a fuck is beyond me. And I really don't care. But I cannot keep her. Yet, as soon as she breaks free from her abusive owners, she comes directly here. And I have a Chihuahua who doesn't tend to like other dogs sometimes. So, you've met Dot to some degree. She's camera shy, I suppose. So apparently Dot has decided to spend the day with me. Now she's trying to play fucking amateur detective, which I mentioned in one of my videos the other day. But I digress about that subject. I'm going to move on with my own business. Let's talk about high school for a little bit. I've never been fucking ugly. I'm going to give that a minute to sink in. But there was a point in time in my life when I was completely fucking unfortunate looking. And trust me, I have no issue with pimples and shit like that. I never went through the normal teenage bullshit, and I feel sorry for some of these kids because they have to go through that. But I never had that problem. I have good genes. For those of you who've not watched former videos of mine, I am half Blackfoot American Indian and half Dutch. Okay. Yes, that's an odd combination, and I'm sick of fucking hearing about it, so there's no need to point that out. Or ask questions about it or anything like that, because it just irritates the fuck out of me when somebody doesn't listen to these fucking people. Seriously. They're driving a fucking Toyota Camry, and it sounds like that. And there goes my phone. Imagine that. Oh, what a shock. At any rate, when I was in high school, until my junior year, which means that my sophomore and freshman year, I was not very appealing looking because I didn't give a fuck at all, which I still don't now, but in a different manner. I would stand in the fucking hallways in my junior and senior year, and my teachers didn't even say anything to me at all about it, because they knew that I was responsible and I would always do my homework, and they never had to worry about me, so they didn't give a fuck what I did. Not to mention the fact, my junior year, something happened in the summer before that, and I blossomed into, like, I don't know what the fuck you want to even call it, but yeah, I went back, and all the guys that were fucking tormenting me my junior, or my sophomore and freshman year, these motherfuckers were now all hitting on me, like flirting with me and shit, and I'm like, no, I don't fucking, no. Get the fuck out of my face. And it's not because I was arrogant, it was because they were fucking assholes to me, and I'm not gonna overlook that shit. Like, they were horrible to me. In horrible ways to me. Gum in the hair while I was changing classes and shit like that. So, you can imagine, that shit's unfucking forgivable. There were a few of them that I forgave, because they turned out to, like, blossom, too. So, of course I want to forgive that shit, because I wanted to fuck somebody. Even though I didn't have sex until I was, like, 22 years old, but you get my point. But the teachers never fucking bothered me. They knew that I was, like, a triple fucking A student. Like, I would do my homework. I didn't even have to attend class. I don't believe in hearing what people have to say. I would rather study it myself, which I'm still successful to this day because of that. Half the people on this globe don't listen any fucking how, so there's all they want to do is talk, 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 talk. And I have never had any patience for somebody that just wants to talk about shit they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. So, moving on. Suddenly, my junior year, I blossom. All of a sudden, I become, like, extremely fucking popular in school. High school. I don't know how this accent that I've miraculously discovered from under a rock somewhere that these people around here have, but what... I didn't have this accent in school. So, I became the president of, like, numerous amounts of clubs in high school. I was the only French 3 student in high school, and after high school, I went on to teach French to elementary school for a while. But that's another story all by itself. Which is actually, my 3rd grade students were the best. I taught 3rd and 6th grade French, and I could have choked the fuck out of those 6th graders because they were going through puberty and doing all that, and that shit's just not for me. I don't have the patience for kids or children who backtalk me and do all that. It's not in my personality. I had a wild fucking time in high school when I blossomed. After I blossomed, I suppose I should say. And I look back on people now that I went to high school with, and some of them look identical as they did then. And then there are others who have let their self go completely, and they look like a straight up bag of fucking dicks, and that's pretty horrible. There are guys I've talked to or dated in high school, and they look like shit now. That's how bad off it's gone. But I was like, fucking smoke weed, set trash cans on fire, do what the fuck ever. I was constantly in trouble in high school, even though it had nothing to do with my teachers. It was like outside of high school, personal shit. But at any rate, in order for you to get to know me a little better, for those of you who give a shit, and if you wonder why I always say, for those of you who give a shit, it's because if you don't, you're not going to continue to fucking listen to this. But I don't want to ramble on by any means. I've had to cut these videos down tremendously. Honey, I'm the kind of bitch that would go out and party and be peeing behind dumpsters, peeing in graveyards. We peed every fucking where. Trust me. There's not a place in the probably tri-state area that I have not marked as my territory or my, what do they call it, tramping grounds, running grounds, whatever they call it. Oh no, honey, they've all been marked. It's amazing how high school, as you get older, sticks with you. But my point here is, and I'm going to end this video with this because I ramble the fuck on and I know that. My point is, outside of all that popularity and everything, and don't think I was an evil bitch, because that never fucking happened. I brought the goths. At that time we had gothic personalities, and we had preps, and we had grunge, and we had the nerds. Honey, I was their go-to motherfucking girl. They all were my friends, and they all became mutual friends because of me. And that's not speaking arrogantly. It was because I was like a mediator between them. And I was like, well, why don't you understand her point of view, or why don't you understand his point of view? And why don't we just sit down and talk about it? And they all became friends. I had fucking cheerleaders that started to smoke weed and fucking everything else. I mean, it was that tremendous. Because they were all my friend. And I was just like, I just fucking existed, ultimately. And I get back to my point, last year was my 20-year reunion. None of the people from the student council wanted to do anything. They complained about this shit for fucking years. We did not elect them to the student council so they could show their ass here 20 years later and say they did not want to do this and they didn't want to schedule high school reunions and all that. Fuck you, motherfuckers. I didn't want to vote for you to begin with, and the majority of you I didn't vote for at all. But I didn't run, so I can't complain that much. It's not much differently than some motherfucker popping up and saying, oh, well, I didn't vote, but I'm not happy about what the election turnouts were for our president. You know? I mean, when I ran for president, every fucking body voted for me because I have a personable personality, a friendly personality. But these fucking people, Jesus Christ. Now, here, our 20-year reunion was last year. So I'm the first one to volunteer because I raised my hand first. Every fucking body else decided they didn't want to participate. They didn't want to do it. They got all this other shit going on. So I'm like, okay, I'll fucking organize the whole goddamn thing. I'm not ashamed to do it. I got a little bit of time on my hands, which is shocking. But I did have. So I said, well, I'll organize the whole fucking thing. Y'all just leave it alone and go about your lives. Until I send an invitation to you and tell you when, where, what time, all that it's going to be. Oh no, honey. I was in the process of organizing it all. And I get these emails suddenly from 3 of the members of our class leaders. Not the president of our class, obviously, because that's a totally different story all by itself, which I will elaborate on later. But I get these 3 messages, and it's like, well, this person and this person want to take over and do it. Months go by. Nothing is fucking done. And remember, I have already planned out every fucking thing for this 20-year reunion. Months go by, and all of a fucking sudden, I get on our high school website, and I see that people are still asking, when is the reunion? When are we going to do this? The year is almost over with. This is our 20-year reunion. We should have already had it by now. Comments like that. So I'm like, I said I would plan the fucking thing. It's already almost finished. But yet I was sent emails, and these 2 cocksucking pieces of shit that were never worth anything to begin with decided they wanted to fucking take over, you know? So I don't know what the fuck's going on. Stop asking me all these goddamn questions and making these comments. Oh my God, these motherfuckers, the 2 of them that decided that they were going to take over. Like a fucking bullhorn. Talk about, well, Jessica was mean to us and we decided we're not going to fucking do it. I'm like, seriously? I was mean to you how? I was mean to you by saying, y'all motherfuckers treated me like shit all the way through goddamn high school. And I said I'd plan this because you obviously have your head shoved so far up your goddamn asshole that you're not going to fucking do it. And there are other people around that are our school that want to fucking participate in something, you know? I mean, people were screaming for this 20-year reunion. That's a big number, you know? I can't even honestly believe I've been out of school that long. Or high school that long. I certainly haven't been out of school that long. But They wanted to fucking try to put the blame on me because they're fucking lazy. Which is one of my pet peeves, which I just fucking mentioned. So I'm like, I'm not even fucking dealing with this shit. Because I'm getting all these negative emails and shit like this, and I'm like, look, bitch, look, motherfucker, I'm not dealing with this because I have already had it all planned. I could throw this shit together tomorrow because I've already got it all planned. Oh no, that wasn't good enough either. So I'm like, what the fuck ever. Y'all go have your goddamn high school reunion, and I'll just sit over here on the sidelines and do what the fuck I've got to do. So now that I have rambled on and made this video almost 30 minutes long, I'm sure you guys don't want to hear anymore. But there are so many people who are nosy as fuck about my life, and I don't even understand why, because it's not that interesting. At any rate, I'm going to stop this video for the attention span that doesn't exist among humanity now. But I love you guys, and I will once again put my information in the comments right down there. All you have to do is look down into the comment section. There's a subscribe button there, and there is also means to contact me, and I love comments, so comment. Do something. Jesus.